What's going on, YouTube family? It's your man Pristine, back with another video. Welcome to my first initial thoughts and impressions of the Moto Razr 5G, or the Moto Razr 2020. Now, I particularly am excited about this device. I felt compelled to get this device given the fact that I opted to sit out the first rendition of the Razr because there was just no justifiable cause of paying $1,500 for a device that was a mid-range device, and was just totally not worth that price tag. Now, I understand. Before that phone was launched, there were some pre-orders that sold out, and I'd say a fair amount of people went out and bought that phone. And, I think it's safe to say, for the average consumer, a lot of people aren't really too concerned about specifications. Me being a phone reviewer, I heavily, scrutinize a device before I pick it up, and I weigh all the options, and I look at, definitely, what the internal specifications are. I know a lot of people bought that device because, it was the world renowned Moto Razr from back in the day, and everybody who had that phone back in the day loved that phone, me included. And so if you hear that it's going to be a refresh in 2019, early 2020, then it's like, who's not going to hop on that, right? Okay. Now, the phone comes out as $1,500. I opted out because it's a mid-range device, and I just wasn't paying that kind of money, for a mid-range product. And fast forward to today. Here's the Moto Razr 5G. This was announced on September 9th, 2020. It was released on October 2nd, which was a few weeks ago, today being October 21st. Now, it seems as though Motorola, they've listened to a lot of the gripes of the first Moto Razr, and they've tweaked some things. And I think that because of those tweaks, this is now a much more compelling buy. Still expensive, some people say, hey, if you got deep pockets, do it. I was a huge fan of the Razr back in the day, but, given the fact that those specifications on that first one just weren't really all that compelling, that's why I opted out of that one. But this one, it's like, okay, they added some things, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that would say that it ain't worth the price that it is right now. And I probably would agree with you on that. But it just makes it a much more compelling, device, especially, in the foldable phone space, and, what foldable phones are costing nowadays. So, in typical, unboxing or first initial thoughts and impressions fashion, I'm going to read down the specifications real quick, and then we'll go ahead and, look at the software, hardware, all that kind of stuff, take a couple photos, and then we'll close the video out. Those of you that really rock with me, the order of business when I do these videos. And so, yeah, with that said, let's get to it. Now, for those of you that, you see the phone out of the box, oh, well, man, Pristine, why is it out the box, man? You ruined the whole unboxing experience. Well, there's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? This is an open box item. I have this device right now because I got it for $1,000. The full retail price for this phone is $1,399.99. This phone is $1,400 if you want to buy it at full retail. Now, the carriers that do sell this phone, they've got promotions and things going on where you can get some money shaved off. So AT&T sells this phone and T-Mobile sells this phone. I know Verizon sells the original one, but they don't sell the second version here, the 5G 2020 variant. You can get it unlocked at Best Buy, which is what this is. This was an open box item. Somebody bought it, wasn't feeling it, returned it. The Geek Squad thoroughly scrutinized this device to make sure that every single thing was functioning properly, and they put it back on the shelf in excellent condition, and they sold it to me for $1,000 because it was an open box item. So now that's a little bit of a game changer, ladies and gentlemen, when you're looking at the fact that this joint costs $1,400, but it's like if you can get a cold $400 off and it's still a brand new product and everything has been tested top, bottom, front to back, side to side, then, man, it makes it a little bit more of a compelling purchase. You see what I'm saying? So, the box was already open and there's no missing parts or any, missing components or anything. This is a rather interesting unboxing experience. The way they got it boxed in, it's boxed in very premium like. Here's the box right here. You see the top just slides off like so. We've got this little case right here, and this is where you're going to find, your wall adapter, your type C to type C A cord. We've got a little dongle here, type C to 3.5 dongle because there is no headphone jack on the device. And then here you've got your SIM ejection tool and all of your literature, instructions, quick start guides, all that type of thing. And that is it. So, very fancy of Motorola to go ahead and package this thing the way that they packaged it. And, they're just like, hey, thank you for buying our $1,500 product. We're not just going to give you a generic regular old box like Samsung. We gonna spice, we gonna jazz it up for you a little bit. So, appreciation, appreciation to Motorola for that, but as my man Flossie would say, the price is still too damn high. Now, so again, one of the most important specifications being the price, $13,999, $1,400. If you want to get this device fully unlocked, which is what this is, at a cheaper price, then you may want to check your local Best Buys because they do have open box item deals. I've scored several deals on a lot of different devices, and not even just mobile phones, but a lot of different other types of technology and electronics. They allow you to thoroughly inspect these devices. You can turn them on, you can play with them, you can do whatever you need to do in order for you to feel comfortable making that purchase because it's already open. And so, they'll crack it open for you, let you test it, tape it back up for you, and you pay for it and you got yourself a nice shiny new device for the low. So I feel like, hey, getting this device for $400 off, man, please come on. I'm talking about ain't nothing to really talk about. Now, the weight of this device is 192 grams. I just mentioned this phone is fully unlocked. We've got a 6.2 inch foldable POLED display. All right, we've got a resolution of 876 by 2142 pixels. We got a pixel PPI density of 373. This phone is 70.7% screen to body ratio. And then the second screen on the outside here, as you can see when I double tap that screen, maybe. Oh, I lied. Okay, there it is. That is a secondary 2.7 inch GOLED 600 by 800 pixel little mini display. And, I had the Z Flip, and, I sold my Z Flip because the Z Flip, that little teeny tiny little screen on the front, that was trash. Come on, Samsung, that was trash. If Samsung did the Z Flip like this, where you've got a screen that you could actually interact with, and I'm just saying this particular form factor. I understand they got the Galaxy Fold and the Z Fold 2, but I'm saying in this clamshell form factor, this is so dope, having this little screen here that you don't have to flip the phone open if you don't want to, right? And that was one of the main gripes that I had with the Z Flip, was like, yo, if I want to do anything with this phone, I am forced to flip it open. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? And so now, although, the Z Flip just completely crushed, annihilated, and obliterated the first Moto Razr because of the fact that the Z Flip is a flagship, it has flagship specifications, even though I know that, you see, okay, Motorola, they released the 5G variant, the second variant of the Razr, and then, Samsung, they got the Z Flip 5G. Same concept, but I would choose this over that because of that same little LED screen on the front, which is basically non-usable. Like, you can really, a viewfinder from the camera with that little old display. Come on, Samsung. It's like, it's a joke. you know. So, you know, when you compare this phone to something like the Z Flip, yeah, the Z Flip still has higher specifications, but I feel like the usability of the Razr is better because of this outer display, which, you know, you have much more functionality with it than you do on that little thing that's on the Z Flip. I mean, so, you know, after having this Z Flip, and I was like, okay, well, I've experienced that. And, you know, I didn't get the Razr, and then this one came out and I was like, okay, yeah, that's on my radar. I got to get that. All right. Because of the improvements over the first initial Razr. All right. Now we've got a Snapdragon 765G, 5G enabled. We've got an octa-core CPU. We've got an Adreno 620 GPU. We've got 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage, non-expandable, and we're running Android 10. All right. Now, for the cameras, we've got a 48 megapixel main sensor, which is what this is right here. And that's an f1.7 aperture. It's a 26 millimeter lens. It's a wide angle lens. It's a 0.08 micron pixels. We've got PDAF, optical image stabilization, dual LED, dual tone flash, auto HDR, panorama, and we can record with 4K at 30 frames per second, 1080p at 30, 60, or 120 frames per second. We have gyro electronic image stabilization as well. And then for the selfie camera, when you open up this bad boy, we got what we got here? We got a 20 megapixel selfie camera at f2.2, and that's a wide angle sensor, 0.8 micron pixels, auto HDR, and we can record at 1080p at 30 or 60 frames per second. All right. Now, that's the camera. The battery, we've got a 2800 milliamp hour battery. And I know that some people may say, well, that's a small cell. And, you know, by today's standards, it is. But you have to understand that this phone, for one, is going to be much smaller. Like, it's a 6.2 inch display when it's open. I mean, so it's right on par with a lot of the bigger devices that we're so used to wielding nowadays. But when you close it, it's so small, so thin, and so you can't expect to have a really, really huge battery in this device, because otherwise this device, it wouldn't have the portability or the pocketability that it does. It wouldn't have that form factor that it does, and that would just defeat the purpose of calling it a Razr, because one of the main things that made the Razr back in the day the Razr was because of how razor thin it was. Whether it was open or closed, it was razor thin, super convenient to hold in the hand, super pocketable, super portable, right? I mean, it's just all the things that make it a Razr. You can't make this phone any more clunkier than what it is. And I'm not saying that it's clunky, but I'm just saying, you know, just the thickness, the width, the height, you know, how thin it is, all that type of stuff. You know, it wouldn't be a Razr if you made this phone any bigger or thicker than what it is, right? So, you know, it does have that Snapdragon 765G, you know, which is a very power efficient battery. I've got other phones that have that same processor in it, and those offer killer battery life. And so don't be so quick to judge this phone just because it's got a 2800 milliamp hour cell. I will not be surprised if I'm able to get through a full day with absolutely no problems on this device. Okay, but, you know, stay tuned, because I'll definitely be reporting back on the battery life and how that is. All right, now, we do have Type-C, USB 3.1. We have fast charging, and it's turbo power. It's a 15 watt fast charger. We don't have wireless charging or anything like that, unfortunately. But to me, that's not really a big deal. And then the colors that we've got polished graphite, which is what this is. That's what it's a shine. It's a fingerprint magnet for a fact. I'm still looking for a case for this bad boy, but you wouldn't believe the cases for this phone are absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the one that I like from Motorola, it's $100. And, you know, most of the times I get my cases from Amazon, because I don't pay more than 12, 13, 14, 15 bucks for them for pretty much all my devices. But a lot of those cases for this device in particular, they're not going to be available till like at the end of the month. You know, the phone is still so new, and so companies they haven't started really rolling out a lot of cases for this device. And because of the form factor as well, there's probably not going to be too many choices, but you definitely want to protect this investment if you get your hands on it. It's nice, it's sleek, it's small, but you don't want to drop it. Okay, you do not want to drop this thing. Now, we do have Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the back of this bad boy. You So we do have one of the most durable grades of glass, but keyword is glass. So, you know, I mean, if you drop it, it's probably going to shatter. I mean, now me being a shorty, I'm 5'3". So if I drop a phone, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like it's coming up from too high. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so me dropping a phone, it may survive. It may get a little scuff or it may not. You know what I'm saying? But those of you taller folk, you know what I'm saying? You may drop you're dropping your phone from greater heights. You know what I'm saying? It may be a guaranteed glass crack situation. You know what I'm saying? Not a situation, a situation. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you want to protect your investment. But even that's going to cost you. You know what I'm saying? What they say, you got to pay to play, baby. You got to pay to play. Ooh. Yeah, all right. So additional features, we do have NFC. We've got Bluetooth 5.1. We've got a rear mounted fingerprint sensor. This phone is water repellent. Imagine that. Okay. We've got Moto gestures. And again, I mentioned this phone is 5G enabled. We've got quick view display, which, when the phone is closed, when you get notifications, they'll pop up right there in the screen and you can interact with them if you don't want to fully unlock your device to read out, whatever your notification is. Same type of deal. This is my Moto Edge. And you see how, I've got notifications here, and you can just, if you elect to show, your information on your lock screen or whatever, then you could actually just hold your finger down and see what that content is. Like I've got text messages here. You can hold your finger down and read those text messages without even having to unlock your device. Again, Motorola product, same features and functions are going to be here, in the Razr. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so that's dope on a much smaller form factor. I really enjoy those features on the Moto Edge, the Moto Edge Plus, and any Motorola device that I've had that offer those features. So I can't imagine why I wouldn't enjoy them on the Razr here. So those are the specifications, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's take a look at the hardware. Now this thing, it feels really, really good in the hand. As I mentioned at the top of the video, I mean, it's 192 grams. As you can see, it's very thin right now. This is the Moto Edge, and you can see it's just a little bit thicker, but not by much, and that's just because it's folded. But I mean, it's going to be thinner than the Edge here when you open it up. But here we've got a 48 megapixel sensor there in our dual tone flash. Here is the 2.7 inch display that you can see there, right there. And you can really, interact with this thing. Now, obviously it makes you put in a pin code. Fingerprint sensor right here on the back where the little Motorola logo is right there. That is a fingerprint sensor. The haptic feedback on this phone feels really good. The vibration motor, it feels really good. It doesn't feel cheap or it doesn't feel budgety. Like a lot of budget phones, I just turn off the vibration because, they just feel, it just doesn't feel right. But the vibration motor on this phone, I mean, the haptic feedback, it feels good in the hand, and it feels like it's supposed to feel, right? Now again, I'm still learning this device, and so, okay, that's asking me if I want gesture navigation. No, I'm good with that. So you see there, swipe to the right if you want to access the camera. Swipe to the left if you want to. You can, put apps on the screen. And this does have some app continuity. So it's like, if you open YouTube on the smaller screen and then flip the phone up, it's still going to be on YouTube, but on just the larger 6.2 inch canvas. I mean, so we do have app continuity, which is nice. So, bottom of the device here, I was kind of wondering, like, why wouldn't they just kind of flatten that out and just make it, just a little bit more flush and thin? But I guess they, just the way that the design of the phone, how it kind of curves down like that. We've got our Type-C port. We've got a bottom firing loudspeaker right there. Unfortunately, we do not have dual stereo speakers. We've only got the loudspeaker, which is bottom firing. It's loud enough. It's definitely going to do the job. So not a problem there. Again, on the back of the device, Razr. Now, To the right of the device, we've got our volume rocker, and then to the left, this is our power button and our sleep button. And so that's been changed around. I know on the original Razr that came out not that long ago, all the buttons were on the right side, and then when you flipped it up, it would be more at the top. All right. Now, this hinge has been really reinforced, and it feels much better. It's used with much better materials. And the hinge, it's stainless steel, and so the front of the device, this is plastic, obviously. It's a foldable technology. But then, like I said, we've got glass on the front and the back. That's Corning Gorilla Glass 5. We've got an aluminum frame, and then, like I said, this hinge here is stainless steel. So it looks like the phone has really been reinforced. I've held the original Razr in my hand, and it did just kind of didn't really feel all that durable and sturdy, but this one just feels much better in the hand. It feels reinforced. It doesn't feel like, you can easily break it. Even though you probably could, who would want to do that? But it just doesn't have that feel. This phone feels much more durable in the hand, and I'm a big fan of that. So again, fingerprint sensor right there. Opens the device, pretty swiftly. It's not the fastest fingerprint sensor, but it's definitely not the slowest. It'll definitely do the job 100% of the time. Here's our 6.2-inch display here. As you can see, things are lightning fast. We do not have either 90 or 120 hertz refresh rate, but you don't need that, man. This thing, it's got 8 gigs of RAM. It just flies. It just completely flies. I haven't been able to get it to stutter at all whatsoever. The phone is very, very, very responsive to the touch. As you can see, as I'm scrolling through my Google Now feed, it's just like a hot knife through butter. Everything's nice, smooth, and fluid. That 765G chipset just works like a champion. All right, now, when I lock the phone, taking a look at the display now, you can see, people always seem to be like, I feel like people are like overly concerned about this, but I'm not sure what grade of plastic this is. I think it's polymer. I could be mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But you can see there's a little fold there. And then there's another one here and here. And obviously that's where the plastic is. That's right in the area where that hinge is. And I know that when you close the phone, you can see the plastic screen kind of move down slightly just to allow the phone to properly close and protect the display. But I know that some people have griped about the fact that you can see little creases. Can you see that in the glare of the light? Like, to me, that does not bother me. People griped about that, with the Galaxy Fold. That it's a foldable device, ladies and gentlemen. And look, let's just be clear. These devices, they're still pretty much in their infancy stages, right? They're getting better the more that, manufacturers invest in them and make them. We're talking about foldable technology, foldable screens. You can't possibly expect, to not have a crease bumpy cam, in the display with how young we are into this type of technology. Now as time goes on, I'm pretty sure we're going to start to see displays that have no crease, and they're just going to be nice, flat, flush, just like, the cell phones that, that we all know, right? But it hasn't reached that point yet, but it'll get there. But some people, really just, they really hammer that home. And if that's a determining factor for you, then hey, so be it. But to me, this is dope, right? This is definitely tech innovation at its finest. This is what I get excited about. Stuff like, the LG Wing, like right when I was starting to think that, man, the smartphone game is getting real stale, and I just feel like these glass slabs, they've really hit a ceiling. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what, just when they release these new devices, it's just little incremental differences and nothing really too major that's significant over the other. And, it just gets kind of boring. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy for these devices. I'm happy that foldables finally came to fruition because they've been talking about them for such a long time. And now we get to experience these things right before our very eyes. This is insane. This right here, this LG Wing is stupid, man. I mean, it's insane. And so keep it locked at Pristine Mobile Tech because I've got the unboxing coming for this bad boy coming very soon. You don't want to miss that. All right. So, it's just like, man, you gotta pay attention. But it's like right when I was thinking, okay, man, and I've been excited for foldable devices, but for these typical glass sandwiches, man, it's like, come on, man. Like I said, today's the 21st. The 23rd, couple days, the new iPhone 12 is coming out. I'm like, Apple, come on, man. Apple. It's like, do we really care about a magnet on the back? Do we care about a stainless steel, form factor that, you took from the iPhone 5 and just made it a little bigger? And I mean, is it cool? Yeah, I'm more so excited about that iPhone 12 mini than I am all the rest of them because I feel like the iPhone 12 mini should have been what the iPhone SE 2nd gen was. You know what I'm saying? So I'm probably going to get that mini and all the rest of them. Look, y'all can have them because it's the same old thing. They just put the new processor in it, up to ante on the cameras a little bit, which is cool. But come on, man. Apple, switch it up, baby. Give us something new, baby. Give us something new and exciting to be excited about, baby. Come on, Apple. But that's a rant for another video. Anyways, so I've already, got the phone, set up, and there you go right there. You see the fingerprint sensor is nice and quick. I just barely tap it and it opens the phone right up. Now, I do have to say, this form factor being what it is, this phone is small and I've got really small hands. Now, I'm typically used to if a phone has a fingerprint sensor on its rear. Typically, the fingerprint sensor would rest a little higher, but Motorola, they couldn't do that with this device because that would mean that the fingerprint sensor would rest somewhere near the screen was on the front when you fold it shut, and they couldn't do that. So, when you hold this phone, you kind of got to shimmy your hand down, especially people that have really big hands. You're going to have to shimmy your hand down a little bit, and that sucks because you could possibly drop this thing just trying to get your hand in position to access the fingerprint sensor. Right. And so I've had to do that. And I've got really, really small hands. Right. I got small hands. You know what I'm saying? I'll touch you up and put these hands on you. You know what I'm saying? I knock you out. I'll sleep you. But I got small hands, baby. You know what I'm talking about? Don't underestimate. You know what I'm talking about? But you gotta wedge your hands down a little bit, to really get your finger in position to unlock this phone. And so some people may just find it more convenient just to say, hey, you know what? To hell with setting up the fingerprint sensor. I'm just going to set up a PIN code or password, a PIN number or something so that you don't have to worry about that because I don't want you to drop your phone just because you're trying to shimmy your finger in position to unlock your phone. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to drop your phone trying to get your hand in position to unlock your phone. You see, oh man, #bars, man. I need to get up in that studio. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to drop your phone while trying to unlock your phone. Bars, man. Bars. So, that's one thing to consider. But then you just run the risk of, okay, well, I want to properly secure my device. And I don't believe that this phone has facial recognition. So, I could be wrong. I haven't dove that deep in the settings to mess with it yet. And really, I'm just like, I don't even really want to put my SIM card in this bad boy until I get a case. There's some kind of protection because I don't want to drop this thing. Now, I typically don't drop my devices, but usually when I get a new phone, I get a case ordered and get it delivered on the spot. So as soon as I want to start using that device, then boom, I got everything that I need. You know what I'm saying? I'm having a hard time finding cases for this, y'all. And I'm probably not going to rock with it heavy until I get some protection on this joint. You see what I'm saying? And understandably so, because even though I got this for the low, I still spent $1,000 on this bad boy. You know what I mean? And so, yeah. Now, again, the Motorola, I mean, they typically don't stray too much away from a stock Android experience, which is pretty much what this is on the Razr. I mean, so, just like we have on the Moto Edge Plus, the Moto Edge, if we go into, or was it at? Where is it at? My apps, they look a little bit different. And that's because I believe it's display. And no, is it? Oh yeah, styles. You go into styles, and they give you the ability to, customize how you want your apps to look, customize your different fonts, customize the colors. Like it gives you free range to just customize things how you want to. And I'm really a huge fan of that, because you really can change up the way that your device looks. And so, of course, typical display settings here. Of course, I gotta have the dark theme on. You know what I'm saying? That's just a must. All black everything. No races. All right, no races, but it's all black everything. You know what I'm saying? Not all black everything. All black everything. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So now if we go to colors, okay, now we've got saturated, boosted, and natural. Now I like colors to be saturated. You know what I'm saying? I like a little bit more pop. You know what I'm saying? With my photos. I like that little pop. You know what I'm saying? I like a little bit more pop. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just go ahead and keep it on saturated, And yeah, I mean, typical, stock Android list of things. You got your network and internet. Just to confirm, those of you that are non-believers, that we do have NFC. Okay, where it says connected devices, you see that? It says Bluetooth, NFC. Boom. There's your clarification. All right, we do have NFC on this bad boy. We got apps and notifications, battery, display, external display. Now, when you go to external display, these are some options and things that you can use to kind of customize the front display. All right, so you got manage apps, and when you click on that, it allows, curated or unlimited. So curated is just select a group of apps that work well on the smaller display. Then you can hit unlimited, and I didn't even know that. I just learned that right now. So I'm gonna hit unlimited because I want to put what I want on that front display, and you can just kind of have it as just like a quick toggle. You want to pop into an app real quick just to see something real quick. I don't want to not have the option to put that up while it's on curated. I mean, so I'll just put it on unlimited, and that allows you to choose whatever apps you want on that front display, and you can rock this thing how you want to, which is more my style. You see. So yeah, and this is where you go. Obviously, you can see these are some of the apps that are checked for the front display, and so you just go ahead and choose which ones, and boom, there you go. I like that. And then of course, you can the screen order, the font size, and the display size. Okay, so you have the ability to toggle those things. Now, mind you, this is a 2.7-inch display, so things are going to be a little on the small side. Okay, I need you to be mindful of that. There's going to be a little tiny. But it is what it is. A lot of you young whippersnappers, you know what I'm saying? Even some of you middle-aged, and old folks, got extraordinary vision. Extraordinary vision, you see? So, looking at this small display may not be a problem for you. It may not. All right. Now, let's go on down the line here, little babies. All right. Now, battery, display, external display, sound, storage, privacy, location, security, accounts, accessibility, digital well-being and parental controls, Google, rating and feedback, help, system, and about phone. Now, if we go to system, okay, we go gestures. All right. Now, these are some of the gestures that we rocking with, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm talking about? We got swipe, fingerprint for notifications. I turn that off because sometimes you'll just, that's just, you swipe down on the fingerprint sensor and it'll bring down the notification shade, and then you can, swipe it back up and it'll, do away with the notification shade. Sometimes that gets annoying because you are accidentally hitting that fingerprint sensor, bringing down that shade, and that may not be what you want to do at that moment. So I have that turned off. Okay. Now you can double press the power key to launch the Google Assistant. You can gesture navigation. We've got system navigation. This is, whether or not you want to have the little white bar right there to navigate your device, or have the home, back, and recents button. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's like prehistoric. Prevent ringing. And when you let's see, what's that? Okay, so when you can choose to either have the phone completely mute or vibrate if you hold the power button and the volume button up or down. And you can just, silence the phone or put it on vibrate instantly without having to toggle your volume. It's just a quick way to, silence your device, whether you want to mute it completely or just put it on vibrate. All right. Now, 3-finger screenshot. That's just simply just put 3 fingers on the display. And I don't know why that didn't do that. All right. Well, is that on? Oh, I got to turn that on. I take screenshots often, so yeah, I definitely want that on. Now, okay, take a screenshot, boom. Boom. 3-finger screenshot. That's nothing new. That's on a lot of other devices. Just wanted to demonstrate. Now, we got fast flashlight. Now, this is one of the main features that I love about Motorola products. All right. What you do is you just give your phone a little chop action twice. Boom, boom. Okay, what happened? Boom. And there's the flashlight. And then to turn it off, give it 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. And there it goes. Now, if you want to access the camera, okay, you just flick your wrist, twist your wrist twice. Boom, boom. And there go the camera, baby. You know what I'm talking about? And now, of course, when you're holding the phone in this orientation, then it's automatically going to, bring up the selfie camera. But this is dope because, this is the 48 megapixel main sensor. So you can take some really nice photos with this camera. You see what I'm saying? And these cameras are much improved over the cameras that were on the original Razr that came out, 5-6 months ago. Those cameras on that phone were trash. I was like, Motorola, you should be ashamed of yourselves. So it's good to see that they enhance the camera, because Motorola, they're capable of making some really good cameras. That the camera on the Moto Edge here and the 108 megapixel sensor on that Moto Edge Plus is right up there with the top dogs, in my opinion. And those phones were heavily slept on, man. Heavily slept on. But yeah, this is dope. And this just looks absolutely stunning. So, like I said, I mean, those features that and love from Motorola, you definitely have those here on the Edge. And I just think that it's just so dope just on a form factor like this, right? So speaking of camera real quick, I'm going to pop into that real fast, and then we'll go ahead and close this thing on out, because I know I'm getting kind of long-winded here. Let's see, about device. Where is software channel? You see we've got Android 10 right there, just in case you folks were wondering if we are running on the latest system. And I'm not exactly sure where we at with the security patch, because I know that Motorola, they've been doing a much better job of getting us those timely updates just to make sure that we have the monthly security patches. Yeah, I'll figure that out in the full pristine review, just for the sake of time here. I won't even go into all that. But now, if we hold down on the display, we've got home settings, widgets, wallpapers, external wallpapers, and styles. And you go to home settings, and that's going to bring up suggestions, notification dots, add icons to home screen, allow home screen rotation, swipe access. And that's just, when you swipe hard to the right, if that's going to either bring up your Google feed or no. I love the Google feed, and so I'll elect to have that on there. But if you swipe no and go back to your home screen, when you swipe to your right, then it's just not going to take you anywhere. You see? And some people may like that. But me personally, I like that Google feed. I have a lot of information that I get from that, and I always elect to have that turned on. And so there it is, boom. Matter of fact, there's a review of the Moto Razr, and I'll probably take a look at that and see what old Tech Radar is talking about. But just look at how blazing fast this thing is. It doesn't have what you call it, it doesn't have a high refresh rate. This is 60 hertz, but it doesn't look like it. It doesn't feel like it. I mean, this thing just literally just flies. In YouTube, and you see just as it's loading up. Yeah, man. I mean, this thing is just yeah. This I mean, this is dope. This form factor is just really, really, really nice. Now let's just pop into the camera real quick, and let's see. Camera to access your location. You don't need to know where I is, camera. You don't need to know where I is. You know what I'm saying? All right, so boom, 48 megapixel sensor. Things are looking very crispy and sharp as they ought to, as you can see. What's that? Okay, so we do have the ability to zoom in. I'm not exactly sure how far we can zoom in, but oh, okay, we'll see. I haven't even messed with the camera yet, so let me go back in that. Make sure that everything is what it ought to be. Okay, so we've got photo, video, and then we got the 3 lines here. Those are typically your options. And so the different modes that we've got portrait, sport. Whoa. I may need to adjust them fonts, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because I need some new focals, and this writing is hella small. All right, so we got portrait. It's that spot color, night vision, cinematograph, panorama, group selfie, live filter, and pro mode. And then of course down here at the bottom for video, we've got slow motion, time lapse, and spot color video. Okay, so those are the options that you've got. All right, and here's our timer. Here's our flash button right there. This little button right here, that's Google Lens. Right there to the left. I mean, so if you want, your camera lens to identify, landmarks or, subjects or whatever, you just hit that and it'll give you information at whatever you point the camera at. Now, if we hit that little arrow button up right there, this is another way in which we can control the flash, the timer, and what is that? Oh, active photos, which is just like live photo on iOS. So when you take a photo, it'll like record like the couple of seconds leading up to the image, and then whenever you look back at that picture, you can see a little bit of movement. That's what that is. All right, I never really mess with that. Now we pop in settings, and then we've got instant review, camera cartoon, external preview, primary camera, photo size. Okay, and you can see we've got 4x3, 19x9, 21x9, resolution 12 megapixel or 8 megapixel. Okay, so those are different resolution types that we've got. Video size, it's by default it's on full HD. As you can see here, we've got 4K UHD, 4K UHD at 21x9, full HD 60 frames, full HD at 21x9 at 60 frames, or full HD at 21x9, and I believe that's at 30 frames. So yeah, that's for the video size. Slow motion rate, HDR, internal camera, photo size. As you can see, no 4K for that one. So it's just 4x3, 16x9, and 21x9. Resolution 20 megapixel, 5 megapixel recommended. So it's on 5 megapixel by default, it seems. But then it says it's a 20 megapixel quad pixel technology. So selfie should come out real crispy and clean. That's technology that Motorola has had on some of their other phones, and it works well. Yeah. So selfie settings, HDR. As you can see, selfie photo mirror, capture settings, quick capture, tap anywhere to capture, shutter sound, assistive grid. Yes, I'll put that on. Leveler, watermark, And then AI settings, we got auto smile capture, gesture selfie, smart composition, shot optimization, Google Lens. And then your save settings is save location and efficient videos, about, help, and then open source licensing. And so those are the options that are in the settings menu. So let me see, what can I take a picture of here real quick? So since these are the two foldable devices that I got on hand at the moment that I'm going to be heavily spending some quality time with, just go ahead and shoot a little picture of that there. Hold up. Look at that. Okay, nice fast shutter speed. And let me flip it around to that selfie snapper. Oh, look at that. Ooh. Oh, the clarity. Oh my goodness. The Lord clearly didn't make no mistakes with this thing right here, baby. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Clean picture, ladies and gentlemen. Very clean. And then this is a picture that I just took. Now look at that. Look at the Razr box. Look at that. Look at the LG Wing box. I mean, the detail with the keyboard. I mean, stay tuned for the dedicated camera review because I'm gonna feature these photos on there. But my goodness, this is a major improvement over the original Razr that came out not that long ago. So kudos to Motorola for blessing us with this. Again, I wish that the price tag wasn't as steep, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, you know, this foldable technology, I'm sure as, you know, the technology gets a little better and we see more of these things, you know, maybe the prices start to come down a little bit. It's still a new thing. But I think it's dope. And like I said, I scored this thing open box, got it for $1,000. Regular price is $1,400, $400 off. I mean, I couldn't beat it. I couldn't walk away from it. And so, yeah, that's pretty much all I got right now, ladies and gentlemen, for my first initial thoughts and impressions with the Moto Razr 5G or the Moto Razr 2020. All right, so, you know, if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to expose yourself to tons of videos that I've done like this one. And keep it locked here at Pristine Mobile Tech because I've got so much more content to come. Be sure to hit that notifications bell so that when my videos drop, you can get notified. Yes, you. Yeah, you too. Yeah, you. You know what I'm saying? Hit that notification bell. Then when these videos drop, you'll get notified. Be one of the first to check out the content and get down in the comment section, which is why we posted up and chilling at. And let me know what you think about what you saw. Hit me with any questions, comments, or feedback of any kind, baby. Let's just keep it respectful down in the comment section because I don't entertain madness or disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Respect my opinion and I respect yours. And we'll just have friendly conversation about these things here. You know what I'm talking about? So, yeah, with that said, y'all already know, man, much love to all of my subscribers. I'm like 4 subscribers short of 9,000. Man, I mean, it's like it's amazing just how my channel continues to grow. Even when I haven't really been all that active, I've been so busy just with work and, man, you know, just homeschooling these kids. And it's a lot of responsibilities and a lot going on with this pandemic, a lot of changes that had to have been made, you know, due to this thing. And it's really cut into a lot of time that I would spend with you guys. I mean, so my apologies for not being able to upload as consistently as possible. But now that we're really starting to adjust more so to the new schedule of things because of COVID, you know, I should be, you know, much more consistent with uploading content. And so, like I said, keep it locked. I've got so many videos that need to finish being edited and uploaded. I mean, so it's a tidal wave of videos is about to come. Y'all gonna be like, man, this boy Pristine is possessed. What's he on? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just keep it locked. A lot of stuff coming. And you guys already know, man, I'll catch y'all in the next one. So please stay safe, get spiritually fit. As always, stay blessed. And man, just keep the Lord first. Keep the Lord first. I know that we're all going through some tough times, but we will beat this pandemic. We will beat all the social injustices and things that are going on, you know, with people. And we just need to spread more love out here, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, keep God first. and you'll be straight no matter what you're going through. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.